Hi, so it's been about 5 days since I started with my first vlog for you. Please excuse the cats, they've decided to get active when I'm doing the video. And I can honestly say that I am feeling a little bit better and my inflammation has massively reduced. Now, an awful lot has gone on in those last few days, and I just wanted to share with you some things that have been happening in my life over the last few days. Um, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole in connection with the microbiomes and the gut biomes and trying to figure out how to nourish my gut health properly. And I spoke to a friend about her daughter who had had problems with her gut beforehand and had been to see a Harley Street specialist with regards to this. And they did lots of different tests and they did a hair test. I think it's a hair acid test. And it materialized that she was that she had very high levels of oxalates in her diet. Um, and oxalates, for those of you who haven't heard of them, are like toxins and poisons that are found in lots of different plant foods. Okay. For example, spinach has got very, very high levels of them. So although a lot of vegans go mad on the spinach smoothies and they drink them because they're supposed to be high calcium, because they're high oxalate as well, the calcium isn't absorbed very well. And what the oxalates can do with people who can't tolerate them very well is they can basically poison your system, cause inflammation. A lot of people with fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, um, and autistic people have found to have quite high oxalate levels when tested. And a lot of people on kidney stone diets, that's probably, if you Google low oxalate diets, this is what is going to come up. Um, you'll find that because there's been a lot of money pumped into research in connection with kidney stones, um, then anything that is low oxalate will be in connection with that. But that is only one reason why people should be maybe trying a low oxalate diet, especially if they suffer with inflammation like me. Okay. Now there's lots to it, and I do encourage you to do your research. And if you're like me and very new to this, please, please, please seek a doctor's advice or at least read up on all of the information to decide if it's for you or not. And as with everything, go into things gradually and don't go in whole hog if you're not sure what you're doing. There's lots of support groups on the internet and on Facebook in connection with this. So you can always have a look at them before making yourself poorly by being too drastic. Um, because obviously you want to try and release toxins from your system. That is a good thing. But you might want to not do it all in one go, because what can happen is your body can do something called oxalate dumping. And that means that the oxalates can be released too suddenly and they can materialize as rashes, severe pain, and it's not very pleasant for those who've experienced this. So to avoid oxalate dumping, the experts recommend to still have a small amount of oxalates. I mean, the end game is to get them out of your body, but you need to do it gradually, so that you don't go into what is called oxalate dumping. Now, I'm no scientist, so please have a look on the internet about oxalate dumping and do your own research. But a lot of people are doing 100 milligrams of oxalates a day if they're doing it for kidney stone reasons. So that seems to be a happy medium. I'm trying to do that. I can't count absolutely everything because being a vegan makes it a little bit more complicated, because a lot of the low oxalate foods on the diet plans are dairy and meats, but there's no reason why, with a little extra work and study, that you can't do this as a vegan. The interesting thing is, I used to eat beans, and as I said in the last episode, I was in absolute agony with navy beans and a lot of the different beans that are out there. And I've also, as a vegan, been having a lot of soy products and a lot of tofu, and all of them are very high oxalate. There are the odd exceptions. For example, black-eyed beans are not high oxalate, and nuts, very high oxalate, except for a couple. Pistachios, not too bad. Almonds, horrendous. Spinach, ridiculously high. So you could substitute spinach with things like kale. People are thinking that they're being really healthy by doing spinach smoothies. And actually what they can be doing, because of the concentration and the massive levels of oxalates in spinach, is they can be poisoning themselves and making themselves really, really poorly. Some people can tolerate it, some people can't. All I can talk about is my experience so far. This is less than a week in. I wouldn't say I've necessarily been doing low calorie. I've not been massively keeping an eye, but I've probably been doing 1,750 calories a day. And the weight's dropping off me. I've lost 3 pounds already in less than a week, and that's unheard of with me. Previously, I've had that same calorie level, but I've been eating different foods and I don't lose. And I've been struggling, as I said, to lose weight with these famous diet groups for 2 years. And because I didn't really know what I was doing, and my body, I wasn't aware of what my body was doing, it wasn't working for me. Now, well, hats off to you, every credit to you. If you've tried those diets and they work for you and you don't suffer from inflammation and you're doing really well with them, that's great. For me, that didn't work. So this is the route I'm going to try, okay? And I'm going to give it 4 weeks and see where I am at that point. I don't think it can harm, to be honest, because it's encouraging me to eat natural foods rather than processed. The other thing is, what I was quite surprised about is everybody says, oh, you want to have brown rice because it's better for you. You want to have whole wheat pasta. They are higher in oxalates than white rice and white pasta. And I have therefore cut out brown rice. I've gone on to basmati, because basmati is possibly the second best one for you, but it doesn't give me that awful inflammation in the stomach. I'm trying to avoid pasta as much as I can, because I'm trying to eat the food in its most natural state, and pasta is processed. And I'm trying to get away from processed, get away from chemicals, and just see how I am. I had corn pasta yesterday. It was a combination of corn and rice, and I had really bad stomachache afterwards. It did not agree with me at all. So I don't know if it was because of that or because I'd put a bit of garlic aioli in with it, but it wasn't good. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, an exciting new delivery that has arrived to my house today is these spice drops. Now, I know you can possibly see this back to front, so I do apologise. But I've ordered some miniature vials of spice drops. You can see these. And the reason why I've ordered them, they're from Holy Llama, and this is the leaflet. The reason why I've ordered them is because, to my horror, as the queen of curries, a person who cooks Indian food every single day, I've found that a heck of a lot of spices are extremely high in oxalates. So I was like, oh, wonderful. I'm basically poisoning myself with really high oxalate levels every time I eat. So what I've done is, instead of using, what I'm going to do, instead of using garam masala and instead of using cumin and cardamom, which I believe are all very high oxalate levels, I have ordered the essence from them instead. And if you have it in this form, then the oxalates are non-existent or are very, very low. Black pepper is high oxalate, so I've ordered a black pepper little vial. White pepper's not as bad, so if you're a pepper fan, go for the white pepper. I'll show you one of them. I'm going to get one out of the packet now. It's quite exciting because I can't even remember what I've ordered. Ginger. So this is a little vial of ginger, and it's so cute. Now, it's tiny, 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 but 1 drop equals the same as a 1/4 of a teaspoon. So I don't think you need an awful lot. And I thought I'll try the little vials before committing to the bigger bottles and just check that it's something that works for me. And it's really good because it means I don't have to miss out on curry, which is my absolute favourite thing in the entire world. So with a few tweaks, it's possible to have a very nice diet whilst eating low oxalates. I made myself a Thai red curry the other day with broccoli in it and red lentils, because red lentils aren't too bad. Basmati rice, I made it with coconut milk out of a tin, which is quite high fat content. And this is why I'm so surprised that I'm losing weight, but I am. And I'm losing inflammation and I feel so much better. And I am using oils to cook with. I'm trying not to have too many because that's not brilliant considering I had my gallbladder removed. But I'm certainly not cutting it out like I would have done before and using things like Frylight, which for me, it's just not a natural oil, and it worried me to be using it when I was, because surely if something's that processed, it can't be any good for you. So that's where we're up to so far. Trying low oxalates. I'm going to go into more detail about that on my next one. I don't want to overwhelm everybody. If you are interested in looking at my new Facebook low oxalate vegan recipes UK group, then pop on over there and I'll add you, and you can see for yourself the types of things that we're all eating, and ask any questions, or if you know more than me, please do feed it back to me, because I am new to this, I'm learning. But I've been watching loads and loads of YouTube videos about a low oxalate diet and what it means, and I'm really getting into it. I'm really interested in learning about nutrition and the gut and how it all works. I was never into science at school, but now it fascinates me, and I really, really wish that I would have gone down a science route when I was younger and maybe have been a dietitian. Anyway, that's where we're at so far. Please do get in contact if you want to know any more about any of it. But yeah, £3 weight loss in less than a week. Maximum I ever lose in a week is £0.5 pound on one of the big diet brands where you go to weight loss classes in the UK. As I say, not dissing them, but it just proves that it's not one diet works for everybody. You've got to listen to your body and find what works for you. Okay, so I shall speak to you all shortly. Have a wonderful week, and I will give you an update as soon as I have some more information for you. Take care.